Alright guys, welcome to Small Scrutiny, and today I'll be talking about something new here. This time I'll be talking about video games, well, specifically Nintendo. And hopefully I get to have this title, still keeping this title, because I think this title is probably in development. You have my small Lugg from Small Lugg of Nanoscopic Drop, my wrestling podcast, where I do reviews on that on pay-per-view events or anything like that, for television events, whatever. And I already got one review already for film, which is Office Space, and one for Musiq. And this time I thought about here, wait a sec. Alright, and this time I thought about, I just thought about this last night. I think this would be my title of my, new, discussion on gaming. And what did I call it? I remember I called it something. I'm not that professional, of course. This is new to me, so whatever. I can't have it. Oh, here it is. So what I thought about here is just talking about Nintendo in general. Oh, there it is. So what I thought about it was called the title for this new video, and the discussion just on gaming would be Small Lugg's console from Thrice deed. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep the title, but whatever. I'm just gonna just from the title of this video, once it will be released, I'll just name it as that, as from its first episode. And so what I have here in my hand right here is I got this Nintendo 3DS. Now I've had this once it was released. So somewhere I believe in 2011, I guess, or 2013. I remember I had this, and this was actually I think their first model with this color, which was aqua blue. And I'm so surprised that it works and that and I still have it with me. I don't usually play it at all that much, especially since now I have another console, and I just stopped playing Nintendo. Not that I have any strong hate or just disapproval from it now. It's nothing like that. I love Nintendo. I still love playing the Mario games, Sonic games, trying to racing car games, Smash Bros. Anything like that with the afflicted of Nintendo and Sega. And let me see. I want to check if it actually came out in 2011. Yep, it did. I was right. Yeah. I believe here says, this is what it says here. According to the internet, it says right here, February 26, 2011. And so, talking about this Nintendo, after finding this, I realized, since I've played the Switch a few days ago with someone, and I remember they had a Nintendo eShop where basically it's just their own store where you can buy digital games and such, and DLCs and add-ons like that. And then I forgot I came across from this handheld device, and I was like, oh, of course it should have the Nintendo eShop. And so I did check, and eventually, after all 7 years, I finally noticed that they actually had an eShop, and I could have actually bought something digitally, any game, any arcade game, whatever, to this handheld device, portable. And just from the look of it, I'm gonna actually turn it on because I need to get back, because I am gonna get back playing the 3DS. I just started from yesterday. Honestly, I went to go search up some stuff here on the eShop, and I actually got 2048, which is, it's basically this game called 2048. It's basically the tiles, if I'm saying it right, where you match the numbers and then it'll turn up bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just see your score, and then you see your score on just how much you've matched your colors on those squares. And then what I also bought, because I actually played this game. I've played this game over a few years ago, and I hadn't got the chance to come back with it. I always, since I had a emulator, and I remember this came up with this. It was one of the most popular, I believe, Nintendo Entertainment System games of all time. And seeing this, it was called Punch Out, and I gave it a try, and it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed the game, but sadly, for some reason, I just got distracted one day, and then future passed, and then there it goes. I mean, I've ignored Punch Out from those years, but luckily I got to buy the game, the actual full game here on Nintendo 3DS for the first time. Actually, just yesterday, in general, the first time I've ever bought a digital game here in the 3DS. After all those years, after buying their physical copies, I don't know why I hadn't thought about actually buying the digital copies years back. And it's quite surprising and quite embarrassing at the same time that I hadn't noticed this for a while. Especially a Nintendo fan, or just general Nintendo fan like me, liking the Mario games. They've been around decades and decades, and they're still holding on strong, very strong. Especially it's Sonic games right now. The sad part here in the 3DS is that I actually don't have the stylus, nor even also having its the slot games, the physical copies of the game. First, I don't know why. I think I probably, I've sold a couple of them over at GameStop for a trade-in, since eventually I got a console, and then I actually had to go buy. I actually was gonna go do trade-ins for money, and then to get other games for the PS4. And in here, let me see. There's actually games that I still need to buy. Eventually, yesterday, I bought myself a $20 gift card on this eShop for the first time. And I begin to think about, okay, so there's games like that I have here on my wish list, like Rayman, the original classic one, Super Punch Out, Donkey Kong Land, Mario Bros, Super C, Pac-Man, Dr. Mario Miracle Cure, I think I said Donkey Kong Kid, Icarus Uprising. Hopefully I'm saying that one right. Man, it's honestly been it's been a while actually playing these games and actually caring now this year, and I've been also thinking about buying another handheld device from Nintendo. I don't know if I should go get the 2DS, the 3DS XO, the 2DS XO, or whatever they have right now, whatever models that they have. Because I've honestly hadn't paid attention at all during the 3DS era. Afterwards their release of the 3DS. And this is like the last handheld device I've ever had. And then during my lifetime, I've always had the Nintendo Lite. The actual first Nintendo Lite. I think it came with the blue flavor, the dark blue color. I had the DSi and this one, what I have here in the 3DS. So I basically I've owned three of the Nintendo handheld devices. I actually don't know where's my DSi, but I remember I do have my DS, but that one is dead and doesn't work. But I think the sad part about here, just thinking about the 3DS, looking back, I mean, I wished they had the Game Boy compatible slot or hole over here, that it would you would actually get to play the Game Boy Advance games, I believe. I don't know which one specifically on what handheld console that you could have got to play on the DS that was compatible, but I remember playing Spider-Man 3 here, and I enjoyed a lot of that game. Okay. But, I honestly never really played. I don't think I've ever even played the Pokemon games. I just wasn't that interested in playing Pokemon, or even Animal Crossing, honestly. Yeah, the only things were just like Mario, Sonic, the Lego games. Oh my god, Legos were amazing. Like the Lego Star. I actually used to have the Lego Star Wars, Clone Wars 3, Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars. Then I had a lot of DS games. I had one like, what did I have? I had the new Super Mario Bros, which was their first release during the DS era. The Super Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. I probably even had some very interested in specific Disney games that I had that, I mean, nobody talks about them. I don't hear people talk about it at all on Disney games with Nintendo. But honestly, just to tell you guys about this, I just want to let you guys know how much I missed out over the years of Nintendo 3DS. And it's kind of crazy to think about that, because I just received I just received some notifications, unread notifications. At the end, guys. Wow, I'm seeing here that it says I'm looking at these unread notifications. I don't know when did these ever came out, but it says here, this is for YouTube at the end of, so this is here saying on Nintendo. It says here that at the end of August, the YouTube app for Nintendo 3DS family systems will be removed from Nintendo eShop as the service is ending. Owners of new Nintendo 3DS XL, new Nintendo 3DS, or new Nintendo 2DS XL systems will be able to watch YouTube through the built-in internet browser. Thank you for using the YouTube app. You see how much I missed a lot of stuff during the 3DS? Look, I didn't know that YouTube was even compatible to 3DS or any other DS device, which is bonkers. Man, and then I used to also play a lot of multiplayer between these games. I think I played Mario Party 2 here, and also, and then the Olympic games. I'm gonna turn it off. It's actually dead. It's actually gonna die. It's I'm kind of glad that I still have this to this day. Working all right. I mean, I do need a new one. But I will still keep this. I won't sell this at all. I'll just have somebody else so they can play with me on this. Maybe if we go on and bring back the multiplayer days of Nintendo. But yeah, I'm also trying to search what other games I should get too from Nintendo 3DS, because I'm also been pretty big on, been recently a fan of just enjoying like fighting games, so just going from Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat, and then And I'm trying to see here if there's anything that's compatible to the 3DS. Or I should even bring back old games that I used to have, if I can find them on, in the internet. Maybe I might have to buy the ones that I've used to own. So this one here that says Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition. Now that I've always been looking at just from its cover, I've played Street Fighter a lot of times, especially now since I've owned the 30th anniversary, which I enjoy dearly. With all the titles that they have, all the way from its first one through their, I think, from the 2000s or the late 90s. I used to also have the Street Fighter 5, but for some reason it just didn't feel the same as the other games. So I just decided to let that go and probably did like a trade-in at GameStop. You've been looking for me, but I never even played the Street Fighter in 3DS ever. I've never played it before. And, I've been thinking about buying it. But I'm also busy with trying to look at other stuff like the arcade games. So, just bringing back from Mega Man. Also, I didn't know Mega Man was actually on the eShop until yesterday. And they actually kept the Legacy collection. They actually have the Legacy collection there. And that got me super excited because, of course, I've also played the Mega Man before. I don't know which console, but I remember playing the game, and it was pretty difficult, as people say. I hadn't finished all the levels from it, but but it was great. It was fun though. I've always liked playing games that were pretty hard, that would likely stress you out a lot. But that's the fun of it. You pass it and look at you. You already completed these difficult levels that they provide for you. I was saying, what else I want to talk about? Because of course, I was really excited to see this, and and I'm kind of resurrecting this nostalgia here from the Nintendo, as being part of the Nintendo family and fans. Did it turn on? Oh. I'm very happy. I'm bringing this back, bringing this joy that I used to have. Not that I don't have any joy now. I mean, of course, I love, doing new things right now, especially with this YouTube stuff, with the podcast, of course, and especially talking about, my this new, my debut episode of a new section of my Scrutiny with, gaming. And of course, everything else that's going on that I've been working on, but I'm trying to be quite hush on it because, of course, I don't want anybody to know about what I'm doing next, and I like to keep it that way. Now, see, Nintendo, just thinking about Nintendo. I actually was also, since there's no status, I gotta have to go buy one. Probably buy the exact same one that I used to have, but sadly lost it. You know what? I also reminded myself. I remember I bought the Batman 2. What was that? It was Lego Batman. Oh my God, DC superhero. So that one was. Oh my God, the game was so good. I remember I know for sure I bought it. I've actually bought this. I bought that game during its release, and I couldn't have been more happier seeing this. I think for Christmas, I believe, and now I just think about it, and I remember having that game, and sadly, I've also eventually lost that game too. That and also Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Oh my God, so many gems that a lot of gems that I've honestly lost from that, and also just from selling some, like what else would it be? This I actually had even a Barnyard game. And what would I forget what was the Barnyard DS game? What was it called? I think it was called There you go. It's called Back at the Barnyard Slot Bucket Games. Yeah, that game was very underrated. I've only liked playing it because of the for the like there was this side not side game this little mini game where you get to drive this truck, and to prevent having these like melons from the back not to fall off, and try to drive fast as you can. I think that's how I remembered it. And honestly, I don't know if you guys have ever even if you guys even have your DS or your 3DS or whatever handheld device you have. I mean, honestly, just it's good to have to keep it safe with you, because then you eventually would want to play it again. Especially how things are changing. Not that Nintendo portable devices are like gone. I mean, they're still around here. And actually, I've missed a deal that happened 2 years or a year ago. I still liked playing Nintendo, especially during around the first years of Nintendo Switch. Love the Switch. Hadn't owned one yet, but too pricey for now. Too pricey, especially think over 300, especially with the Switch and the Mario Kart 7 pre-downloaded game already in there. What I thought about this Nintendo, what I was gonna say. Oh, so the deal. Okay, so this deal I had, there was this deal over there at Target, and I believe it was a 2DS that came up with actually the sequel of one of Super Mario's popular games around the DS era, which was the new Super Mario Bros. This Nintendo 2DS, it was an XL. So this 2DS XL had this package with what is appeared to be the Mario Kart. They had the Mario Kart 7 pre-installed already, and I was thinking about getting that, and then also which was the 2DS device was in color black and blue, and there was one also that was. Yeah, let me check here. Oh my god, it's pretty slow. And there was one that was white and red, which I thought about buying it. And this one was pre-installed with the new Super Mario Bros. 2, so I've never played the sequel. But I feel like I need to go back playing the first one, to get its storyline and see how it went during those events before I go to the sequel. Because honestly, I don't remember paying attention a lot about the story of Super Mario Bros. And DS version. I'm not that type of guy who would actually pay attention to the stories in video games. I just skip for the just for the fun of just playing, then listening, like if it's a movie. The only time I probably was actually the only time that I was actually paying attention to the story was Marvel's Super Marvel's Spider-Man in the PlayStation 4. Now that game is honestly I'm a lost of words from playing that game. That game is too exciting. I enjoyed it too. I love playing that game. I actually own it, luckily, with the DLC pack. I actually got it from a deal. I actually got the deal for I think $15 with the DLC packs. So I'm already packed up for it. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad I hadn't missed that opportunity, to not to even like regret not buying it, because of course I'm happy I still bought the Spider-Man game, but I do regret buying the this Nintendo 2DS white and black red version of this with the console and the pre-installed Super Mario Bros. 2. I'm pretty upset about that because it was actually $80. And I think nowadays, and I think now, usually a regular price for Nintendo would be how much does it cost now? Because I know this does not cost the same as like a Switch. So not at all a Switch, not at all. These usually cost. Here's telling me like 160 and then 220. Yeah, I'm trying to see the official prices here. Let me maybe go to the Nintendo shop. No, not eShop. It's pretty bizarre, just coming back here after all these years. And I actually once I go buy a new 2DS or 3DS, I have to go buy another SD card to transfer, to have this old one be put on the computer and download them and then package them in a new SD card and attach it to the new one, to the new device. All right, here I'm trying to see. Oh, by the way, about this Switch. I mean, I remember this happened like a month ago. This new Switch version, it's kind of ridiculously. It's ridiculous, honestly. Like the what was it called? I think it was called the QLED. Yeah, I think it was the QLED. No, OLED. OLED model for the Nintendo Switch, and this one was a new system that just came out with like a 4K output, and I think the screen is bigger, I believe, and the speakers were, I guess, they had more. I think it had like a specific area where it was like different from its previous Switch versions. Yeah, something about the volume that changed. But honestly, I remember looking at it back, like, I was from researching and seeing its official trailer. I didn't really see much of a big difference that I had to go get it than the regular version. I also thought, what, I'd just rather get probably the Nintendo Switch Lite, without having to take off the little controllers, whatever they called, because I have a thing. There's not a lot of people that I know of that have the Switch, and I don't think it won't be that fun, just having it and having that little clicky detached controllers, and not having them, and then not everybody wanting to play with me. I mean, the lights are not that. I mean, 200. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, because I think I paid attention way more with the OLED model more than what I've done with the light version. The only thing I know is just that it doesn't have the thing to actually switch the controllers and does things like that. I don't think it even has a stand. I believe that's what I've heard. But oh well. I actually can't even find. I'm actually looking at the Nintendo shop, and there's nothing to appear on prices with the 3DS. Here, I'm trying to actual search, but my laptop is freezing. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And you know what, also, like, years from like not really paying attention, years from not paying attention to the 3DS, I actually also, there was a time period where I think maybe two consoles were being like remastered and put into like a classic edition, just to revise, the younger children of, hey, we had these new things, we had these old games, and we would like to, show you them at at today's time. And I actually thought it was a great move, especially for me. I would like to try. I cannot disagree on old games, because of course I really hadn't played much. I played like the Game Boy Advance, the colored version. But what is like the oldest game? So like the oldest game that I've probably ever played in my entire life. The oldest console that I've ever played. I'm trying to think. So I've played the PS2, the first PlayStation. I think I played the first Xbox, but I know there was something else like much older than those that I've mentioned right now. I was about to say, you know what? I did also play GameCube, which I find that console such an underrated piece that Nintendo had invented. I love the GameCube, and I think it still holds on to this day. Then like the other games that I've played, I feel like that game, to me, like, I've never owned it, but I've had a few people who had it, and also the Wii. The Wii was fun. It was honestly fun. And I really don't understand still why to this day. I gotta do more research, of course, because I rarely come in to pay attention video games unless like yearly, when it comes to like the E3 or like the PlayStation showcase or the Xbox showcase or Switch, whatever new that comes up, or just follow like Game Informer magazines, because I still own a few Game Informer magazines from probably 2 years ago. And so, okay, let me see. I actually want to know, is GameCube actually older than the Xbox? Wait, Xbox release date. It's not really telling me. 2001. When did GameCube come out? I don't think it would have mattered, because I think PlayStation was in the 90s. So of course PlayStation 1 is older. Let me see. 90. I'm gonna put 90s gaming consoles. I really want to know what I've played during my lifetime. I know I hadn't played the Genesis at all. I don't think none of the Sega stuff that they brought out, or like, I know for sure. Now that one, I don't never play Dreamcast. I think I did play the Atari, but probably like they're like other like remastered ones. And yeah, I've probably played like a remastered version for like the Atari, not the new one that they thought about bringing out. I forgot. I don't think that one hadn't even came out yet. What was that new one? The VCS. There you go. I still hadn't played. I think it hadn't even released. Whatever. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think probably the PlayStation was probably the oldest one I've ever played. But getting back from like what I said about bringing back like remastered consoles, bringing old to the new, thinking of that's a great idea. I remember I've always wanted to get one of these for Christmas. I don't know if it was the Super or just the regular. I think it was the NES Classic Edition. Now that one, I've thought about buying it, and the reason why would be because of its games. And the games had Super Mario Bros. Like their version of the classic, and Pac-Man, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Kirby Adventure, and then I think that was like one of the primary reasons that I wanted to get it. Not actually for the reason of Zelda, because honestly, I've never played Zelda before my entire life, and I can't say nothing bad about them, of course, because I've never played them. I can't say nothing, and I don't know when will I think about buying Zelda. Of course, I might think later on I might want to do a review. My first ever review, actually. I've never written a review, ever stated my opinion on video games. So, I'm guessing, since I have Punch Out, I might want to maybe do a review on that first. Maybe make it my first when I finish the game, or head on over to like something else that'll probably be like more easier to finish, and that would take me more time to just, and more quicker, to just write down what I have to say about the game. Nothing too specific, I guess. Hopefully, I wonder how is it gonna go. Now, I remember this classic edition was like probably $60 or $80. Right now it's going up to like $134.99. Somewhere from the hundreds. So I don't know why is that going down, up. I meant. And then I also wanted, the NES Classic Edition, and what else? I think I probably asked for the Super NES, or maybe that one hadn't came out yet. Oh, I realized that there was also another one called the PlayStation Classic Edition too. Yeah, PlayStation Classic. Now that one was surprisingly, like it gone. I think it gone bad. I think after its release, I don't think people weren't buying its Classic Edition. That I think it eventually had to lower the price down to like $40. It went like extremely under, I believe, and it was like because people weren't selling a lot of it, and it got quiet and dead and very like, and I felt empty, just not hearing anything else that the PlayStation Classic had to offer, or its reception to it. All I saw the trailer, and then some people were talking about it, and then boom, that's it, and then after that nobody hadn't spoke about it, which I kind of find it strange. I feel like they might have failed, I guess, but who knows? I probably wasn't paying attention still during that time, because I was for sure I hadn't heard anything that happened, especially since I follow gaming pages, and I hadn't hear people talk about the PlayStation Classic like that. It's honestly like pretty forgettable, just to think about it. Yeah, and there you go. So I also thought about buying the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition, because this one also, I think this one had like an unreleased game of Star Fox. Now I've only played Star Fox probably like just a few, like way back, but I think not because like of how I liked it. I was just probably bored out of my mind that I wanted to try it out from somebody's GameCube. I remember I played a Star Fox. Which one was it called? I don't even know how many games that the Star Fox had on the. There you go, Star Fox Adventure. See, I've played that one before. So I'm trying to see here. Oh wow, and they're even out of stock from just like from Walmart. So from here, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Classic Edition. Now these actually to get, or talk about this Classic stuff edition. They were actually even smaller than the original version. which I kind of find that, very interesting. I was thought, okay, I might have this. It was extremely small. Like, look at this. Well, I cannot show you, but the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was like the size of your hand. It was you can actually just grab it from your palm of your hands, which seems nuts. But that's how I think that that's how they modeled it. I forgot what else that they had in that game. I think there was a specific reason. So I said here that they had a never released Star Fox 2, and I just thought it was something like odd. Like, why hadn't they released it during that time of the Super SNES? So what else? There was Super Mario Kart, which I think I should play. And then there was F-Zero. I liked F-Zero. I think I played F-Zero from like somewhere else. I don't think that was a specific title, but I think it was something else, like probably one, of course, one of its sequels. Donkey Kong Country. I think that's it that I've known. But I still feel lost. Just in general, after talking about all of this, with the classic edition and wanting to get another DS, this 3DS, I'm thankfully, still in my cabinet, all they're hiding. And thankfully going back to it, I'm thinking, should I start a review on this? Something new, another new content that I can provide without anything of movies, reviewing movies, music and wrestling. Might start another another one with this, which is cool. But it feels great right now, just to talk about this, guys. I feel actually relieved that I'm I'm bringing back my old me just for a little bit. Yeah, bringing back a little bit of my old me from the handheld console. Yeah. Well, it was good. Oh wow, this is 40 minutes already in. All right, guys. Well, it was fun to talk to you. It was fun to talk about my experiences here on the DS, general, and Nintendo in general. And I'm still actually seeing some stuff, on the eShop to see. I have my wish list of, just seeing what other games I should go buy, see what it's up, and see how it goes. So, thank you very much for watching, and okay. So before I leave, now exiting to my Nintendo view, my first video for the console from Thrice Deed. I think in a couple of days for sure that will be releasing the AEW All Out. Now I don't know when exactly is the release date for that review, because I saw the pay-per-view. I seen the pay-per-view. And that's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna speak. I'm not gonna have my little opinion here to drop in at all. I would just save that for the next video, for Nanoscopic Drop. So that'll be up in less than a week. I can tell you that it's less than a week. I've been writing and seeing and writing down a few points to see, how it went from the ring, and and my thoughts on it. So be sure to be aware and check that out. And I think there's a bell button where you can get notifications on my new videos whenever they pop up. And that's it. So have a good day, everybody, and logs off to relaxation. Goodbye. Whoops.